continuing to learn Japanese with Zelda II, The Adventure of Link. Last time we did the third palace, the Island 1, in Japanese Kojima no Shinden, as we have seen actually that one in-game before. After that, well, we got the raft there, so we were able to access a new part of the overworld. And yeah, then we slightly explored it and arrived at a new town, Nabooru, and started going around it. So yeah, today we'll first and foremost finish going around the town. And yeah, then we'll move on from there. And yeah, without further ado, let's start. And yeah, again, we have to load since our save state because of that. Yeah, we are outside of the town. So I exited last time. Okay. Let me quickly see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, first and foremost, yeah, I'll show it again since we're here. The sign that says welcome to Nabooru. Yeah, we have checked out this again last time, but yeah, we won't go through it again. The random NPCs, we should have checked them all. There's this locked house, but yeah, we should be fine. Yeah, these are the NPCs that we have seen. These are the random ones. We've checked them all. There was this house that we have seen with a tip about the holy sacred boots. We'll see it when the time comes. This is the old woman that is our magic, and yeah, not only to show it, but yeah, also to replenish that. And yeah, perfect. Slightly different. The dialogue was different as we've seen last time compared to previous old woman with the same effect, but yeah, still healed our magic. Yeah, this one was the woman with that asked for yeah, as you can see here. We are still holding the water, as yeah, we have already got it. And yeah, so we could go inside the game, but yeah, there we got a new spell, fire, as we have seen. I've even shown it before, last time. This one, I think, is new, a random NPC. Hey SKS, and yeah, it's Zelda is good. But yeah, I think this we haven't seen before, even though it's a dialogue of a random NPC. This one actually this man says first and foremost Shinden ni Yuku no Ka. First and foremost, we have Shinden again. Yeah, already mentioned it even in when I said the name of the island palace in Japanese. Yeah, Shinden. We've seen it before. It's the Japanese term used in the Japanese version for palace, even though actually it means in Japanese temple, shrine, sanctuary. Yeah, they simply chose palace in the English version. It's a Chinese compound and luckily unaccented like most of those are, as we have seen. After that we have the particle ni, in this case tu. Technically the distinction between it and e, written as a he, the one we've actually seen when I've shown again the sign welcome to Nabooru. That one is more direction, this one is more destination, but yeah, they're close in meaning, and yeah, sometimes they're used. Not keeping in account this slight distinction between them. But yeah, here we have ni. And yeah, after that we have a verb of movement. And so also because of that we can understand the meaning of ni in this case. Otherwise it could have other meanings as we have seen, but yeah. Funny enough, we see another ni after, but actually two, but yeah, we'll see them in a second. The verb is yuku, also written and pronounced as iku. Unaccented is the verb to go. After that we have the particle no. In this case actually it comes after a verb. Most likely is simply the nominalizer for verbs. We have seen it. We could translate it as fact. In this case I'd say is it with the copula actually implied? Because after the no we straight up have ka, the final sentence particle, which is the interrogative one. In Japanese technically you could use it without the question mark after it. The interrogative particle is enough, although we've seen that of course it can cause some confusion, especially when written we find an exclamation mark, and yeah, of course it isn't a question at that point. It's more like something, isn't it? But yeah, here we have the ka, even the question mark, and yeah, so it's a regular question. And yeah, the man is asking us we have a verb in the present form, so actually it can be used with a future meaning, will you go in Japanese. And yeah, so will, you implied of course, because it's speaking to Link, go to the, we don't know which one because he doesn't mention it, but yeah, most likely the closest one to the palace. Or are you going to the palace? We could adapt it in English. But yeah, after that he says Naka de wa Osorezu ni Ana ni Tobioriro. First and foremost, he says Naka, which we've actually seen It depends on the kanji we use, but this one is technically the more common one, even though we have seen a lot of the other one before because of the context. Not sure if in this series or a previous one, but yeah, this is actually the most common one. Naka should be accent on the first syllable regardless, and it is. It means inside, interior, by extension among, within, inside, interior, but also middle, center. Most likely that's the original meaning, the fundamental meaning, and then by extension also inside, interior, and also among, within, and so on. During also, while, yeah, even in English we use in the middle of. So yeah. In this case, I'd say it means inside, as in inside the palace. And yeah, after that we have first and foremost the particle de, which is the locative particle used with most verbs. The other one is ni, as already mentioned. We've seen it before with another usage. With verbs of staying, ni is the particle used to mean in, at. With other verbs we have de instead, like here. And after that, immediately we have also wa. The topic part, wa written as ha, it's the topic particle, and yeah, so as for at, the inside, of course, implied of the palace, temple, shrine, sanctuary, actually in Japanese. Then we have this form, osorezu ni. First and foremost, we have from osoreru. Want to actually check if we can find osoreru means to fear. Want to check, of course, as usual, the accent. Okay, accented. To fear, to be afraid of. It's a ru verb, it's done verb, so we can drop the ru and add zu, which is actually a classical form of the negative. And yeah, actually this form, zu, in contemporary Japanese also with an additional ni. In this case, the ni is to make it an adverb, while we have the zu, so the negative of the verb, not don't fear technically, but yeah, with also the adverbial particle, it's more like without fearing. And so yeah, of course, in translation, actually, we can make it easier and without fear, with the corresponding noun, not the ing form of the verb, which could work, but is not as used. Well, yeah, in this case, without fear, even though literally in Japanese, we have an adverbial negative form of the verb. So actually this, what will technically be a classical form of the negative in Japanese, becomes this adverbial form in contemporary Japanese. After that, we have ana. I think we actually might be accented on the last syllable. Yes, it is. So actually, na, low, high. In this case, since we actually had a particle, ni, and it's not no, which is particular, as you have seen, not the possessive particle, makes words accented on the last syllable unaccented. Other particles don't have that, and so we can actually hear words that are unaccented, that are accented on the last syllable as such, like with no or without anything, because then they sound the same as unaccented words. And yeah, so low, high, low. Just as a reminder of how these accents work in Japanese. It's a pitch accent. Anani. And yeah, actually we see another usage of the ni particle. In this case, to, still, but more in the sense of into. We'll see why in a second with the verb. Yeah, verb which is tobi oriro. We'll check if I can actually find it as is, because it's actually in the dictionary, because it's a compound verb. And yeah, actually it's present. But yeah, first and foremost we start with tobu. We have seen it before. Depending on the kanji, even though, funny enough, in this case, most likely you'd find it only with one of the two kanji. So yeah, it doesn't always apply. But yeah, when used on its own with a certain kanji, which we'll see when we study them, it means to fly. With the other one, it means more to jump. Yeah, the first one to fly, to soar. The other one to jump, to leap, to spring, and so on. Both unaccented, and yeah, most like the strictly Japanese word, verb in this case, tobu, most likely simply has both meanings, and then they apply to the two different kanji. Yeah, of course, because they're technically related. If you to fly, technically you first jump and then start flying. But yeah, it's a u verb, Kodan verb, so we can change the u into i to make the continuative form. In this case, it's required to attach the second verb, which is oriru. Actually, accent, so oriru. Low, high, low again. Which means to descend, to go down, to come down. Technically, also in this case, we have two, it can be used with two different kanji. This one, the one which uses actually, and this one we have studied before. Funny enough, I think the kanji in the previous, the first Legend of Zelda game, our series here, is the one that means to descend, to go down, literally. Yeah, it's the kanji for down. With another kanji, it means to get off, to disembark, to dismount. Yeah, also from passes and so on. Of course, mount, and so also if you're riding a horse and so on. But yeah, the fundament in this case we'll keep the fundamental meaning, which is clearly to go down, and then by extension it becomes also to get off, and so on. Yeah, by combining those two, we get the meaning for this compound verb. Literally, it's simply to jump down, to leap down, and yeah, to jump off, to leap off. So yeah, literally we have the jump slash leap part for the first verb, and then down or off for the second one. So yeah, pretty easy, luckily. Oriru is also actually our compound verb. Ru verbs, ichidan verbs. And so we can change the U into O to make the imperative form, the spoken one, and so actually the most common one nowadays. We've seen it in, we've mentioned them in, I think we've actually seen maybe also in this series, but we've definitely mentioned them in our Method 1. That there's also a written form of the imperative in plain speech, where these are plain speech forms. Technically written, and so yeah, less common but still used. Which we have seen actually for Ru verbs, ichidan verbs, and also the regular ones, Suru and Kuru. Where we drop the Ru and add Yo. But yeah, here we have the spoken one, yeah, luckily the most common one. For the accent, if I recall correctly, it was accent on the Ro itself. For these forms, and yeah, so should be like that. Yes, for the meaning, it's simply as for inside, implied the palace, the temple, shrine, sanctuary. Jump down into holes there, of course, without fear. Ah yeah, okay, we got this hint. Can continue. Yeah, this one we haven't seen before. So yeah, good thing we actually went back here in case... yeah, no, this one we have seen before. We have just seen. This one I think we haven't seen before because I don't remember seeing Hyrule in a game, and yeah, it's Hyrule first and foremost. Yeah, the sentence is Hyrule o Osukui Kudasare. And yeah, first and foremost we have Hyrule. Hyrule, as mentioned, yeah, the name of our location in game. Then we have the object particle O, written as one, pronounced as such also in careful speech and singing. Then we have the Osukui, first and foremost. From the verb suku, we have seen it before in this very series, I'm pretty sure. I'll check again the accent, but the meaning is to rescue, to save. Yeah, actually an accent, so I was correct. School. Here, well, it's a verb gotten verb, so to make the continuative form, which is required in this pattern, we change the U into I and get sukui. But we also, in this case, add the honorific prefix O to make a form of the honorific. To be more precise, this is respectful language. And so we we respectfully talk about the actions of the subject, in this case also the one where the one the old woman is talking to, so us. And yeah, after that we had Kudasare from Kudasaru. We have seen it before as a verb of giving. To give of, again, a superior to an inferior. And yeah, it's an honorific, actually respectful form. More often than not, we have seen it with kudasai. Its continuative form, notice that it's irregular, despite being a u verb, godan verb. We don't simply change the u into i. We actually drop the ru and add i. Technically, again, it was ri, then or u into i, so kudasari, then the r dropped and only remained. In this case, actually, we conjugate it in another way. We change the u into e, and so make the imperative form in plain speech. And yeah, so we get this form. Technically, we should still say please, even though we aren't in the polite speech. Yeah, usually you wouldn't see such forms nowadays when you speak in contemporary Japanese. You'd use a polite form with. We have seen with the continuative form of the verb more often than not nasai instead, or te kudasai, but yeah, in both cases it's implied masse, so the imperative form of mass, which is the auxiliary used for the polite speech. Yeah, here we actually use the plain speech, but yeah, we still use the honorifics for the one she's talking about, and to also in this case. But yeah, it's somewhat particular, but yeah, that's how it's formed here. Also to give it some a different feeling. Yeah, this is you would usually not use it nowadays, but yeah, we can see it used here. Yeah, so simply the translation is please save Hyrule. So yeah, we can. Yeah, this is the other one we have seen before, that she can't help us literally become our strength. Okay, yeah, this we haven't seen before. I was wondering for a second, because as you can see we are next to a fountain. But yeah, this we haven't seen before, and actually it's based on the name here, should be a tip for the next town. We might get there today, we'll see. That we'll be able to go through, visit it fully at the way, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, this woman says, Darunia no magician ni ao made, meiro jima no shinden ni hairanai koto ne. first and foremost, we have Darunia. And yeah, another classic Zelda name of a character in later games. But yeah, here is the name of another town, of course. After that, we have the possessive particle no. And so, of Darunia. And also to connect it to the following noun, which is magician. Yeah, literally from English, magician. Pretty sure we have seen it before in this series, but I think it will add the same accent as in English, but we'll check. Okay. And yeah, like in English on the Z. By the way, of course, the dictionary mentions also illusionist. But yeah, no, of course, in this context, it's an actual magician. Then we have the particle ni. In this case, it becomes, it has to be translated with. It's actually required by the verb, which is au. Yeah, we have seen before this. Au, which is the verb which means to meet, yeah, requires the particle ni in Japanese. And so, yeah, meet with the magician of Darunia. Then we have the particle made, technically accented on the ma on its own. But of course, in this case, since au is accented, we keep the accent of au, and made is actually low. As for its meaning, is until, up to, also to a place or person, as far as. So yeah, to. More often than not in the sense up to, as far as, until also, of course. Yeah, until in our case better to, in translation, till you implied meet and so on. Then we have meiro. Technically, in this case, it's attached then to Jima. But we'll see first and foremost Meiro. Meiro means maze, labyrinth. I think we have actually seen it before, not in this series, because we haven't seen this part yet, of course. And yeah, I actually remembered, but of course checked anyway, that it's one of those Chinese compounds that's accented on the first syllable. Not as common, at least based on what we have seen so far, as the unaccented ones, but yeah, the second most common accent on the first syllable, and yeah, so to keep it in mind. After that, we have Jima, which comes from Shima. On its own, accented on the last syllable should be means island. And yeah, we've actually seen it with the change, the phonetic change from shi to ji. So the voicing of the consonant, adding the duck 10 in writing. In that case, in Kojima, small island, because it was technically a compound, strictly Japanese origin, the second part, and so yeah, usual, as we have seen more often than not, that happens with those. In this case, it's more of a suffix, technical. Well, we could consider it still a compound, but yeah, more of a suffix. And so yeah, it would mean Maze Island. I want to check quickly, I'll get the physical dictionary. I got the physical dictionary because being technically a suffix, it could have, it might have an accent pattern of its own. We have seen with some suffixes that they always make, when attached to a word, they make the whole word unaccented. Those are the most convenient ones. Other ones are accented before the suffix itself. All can be also accented on the first syllable of the suffix. But yeah, usually the... and so I wanted to check this one. Shima. Actually more Jima should be. If it has a pattern, and yeah, actually I can see it here. Okay, with there are two variants actually. One's for Shima without the voicing, and it has certain patterns. Luckily for us, yeah, no, actually not luckily for us, it has the same ones also for Jima. Either unaccented or accented before the suffix. I'll quickly check the note to see if there's a rule or it's simply that both variants exist. Okay, this one. Okay, yeah. Usually it says that there are a lot that are unaccented, but there can be some actually accented before the suffix. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to distinguish them, so yeah, you simply have to remember them when they show up. Unfortunately, it's not useful in our case because, of course, it's not an actual place in the real world. Technically, considering this, I'd say the safest one is the unaccented one, actually, because most are unaccented. There are a lot of them, but unfortunately, I don't have a way to confirm it either way. But yeah, we can continue. After that, we have again the possessive particle no. Then we have Shinden once more, temple, shrine, sanctuary. Then we have the particle ni. And yeah, again, in this case it's to, more like into, required by the verb, because the verb is hairanai, from hairu. We've seen it before, it's the word that means to enter. Accented, actually accented on the ha, on the first mora. Unlike most verbs which are either unaccented, as we have seen, or accented on the second to last mora. So in our case would be iru. the sorry. But yeah, in this case it's actually in the ha because I is considered not always, but in this case it is. It's considered a diphthong in Japanese. And yeah, so we get hairu. To enter, to come in, to go in, to get in. Then other extended meanings, to enter a university, for example, also to join, yeah, in the sense to enter, by extension to join a club and so on. But yeah, in our case, to go in, and yeah, then you can see why we had the particle ni, to go in to the temple, shrine, sanctuary, the palace in the English version. Hairu is a verb, codon verb. Despite not technically it's in iru, so like those in eru, usually those are ru verbs, Itzian verbs, but there are some exceptions, and yeah, including this verb hairu. Yeah, unfortunately, you simply have to remember them, or be lucky, like in this case, to see them already conjugated in some way or the other. And so yeah, that way you can tell that because they follow the rules, in this case the rules of verbs, codon verbs, and yeah, you can tell it's one of those. We change the u into a to make the irrealis form, as I call it based on the Japanese name, the not yet state form, which is the one required to add nai, an adjective which means non-existent on its own, and yeah, it's used actually also with verbs, with this form of the verb, to make the negative form of a verb in plain speech. And yeah, so in our case, not enter, not come in, go in. After that we had koto, which is another nominalizer for verbs, similar to no. Koto means on its own accent on the last syllable, means thing as in matter, compared to mono, which that one we have even studied, the kanji, means a thing as in object. In this case, considering that after that we immediately have the final sentence particle ne, which means right, isn't it? In this case, more I'd say like an okay. I think that in this case, the nominalizing the verb with koto is a way to make it to actually make kind of a recommendation. The fact is, even though it isn't the usual no da, no des structure, you shouldn't, we have to add it in English, enter, go into the temple, shrine, sanctuary, palace of the Maze Island until you meet the magician of Darunia. Okay? I'm curious to see if I can actually see such a usage of koto also in the dictionary. But yeah, that's Yeah, and there it is. It's also mentioned in the dictionary. Of technically, the structure would be koto da, and so yeah, by adding the copula after koto, after a verb, of course. Here the copula is simply implied, of course. When they do such things in Japanese, as we have seen before. But yeah. Also the dictionary mentions that this usage, you should advise that it's important to and yeah. Literally, I'd say more it's something like it's a thing that implied you should do, and yeah, then after that, not entering, and so on. Or again, simply kind of another form of the fact is that technically, like no da no des, and yeah, after that, but in the sense of you should. Yeah, we have seen that. We can continue. Ciao Guillaume. Hello. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, the usual rescue the town. Yeah, we have seen again the verb suku there in that form. This one we haven't seen before, this dialogue, so we'll quickly check it. This old woman says, Mamono ga kawa ni sumitsuite tabibito o tabete shimau, and then some suspension dots. First and foremost, we have Mamono, which is technically a compound. In this case, we have a compound between a Chinese reading and a strictly Japanese one. Yeah, while as you have seen, usually you combine Chinese reading with Chinese readings, strictly Japanese ones with strictly Japanese ones. But yeah, there can be some exceptions like this one. Especially they happen when, for example, like in this case, the first kanji doesn't have a strictly Japanese reading, or at least it doesn't have it nowadays. Ma, which we have seen before, is the one in Maho in this very game. Magic, in our case, actually spell, but more literally, the closest translation would be witchcraft for Maho. And yeah, the Ma at its start is the kanji for witch, demon, evil spirit. Most likely, actually, evil spirit in Japanese at the time, and then those by extension, or at most demon. Yeah, strictly Japanese, Chinese reading. There aren't strictly Japanese ones. But after that, we have Mono, which is the one strictly Japanese word we've already mentioned, thing as in object. And yeah, literally would be demon, thing. And so yeah, demon, evil spirit, monster. Yeah, in our case, let's say the best translation would be monster. But yeah, literally demon, thing. By the way, the accent. Okay, it's unaccented. So yeah, keep it in mind. Unfortunately, it's not a Chinese compound, so it isn't as usual in this case. Still unaccented also this word. Then we have the subject particle ga. After that we have kawa. Kawa means river. Should be unaccented, but we'll check. Yeah, no, actually, sorry. Again, I was... it's accented on the last syllable, so on its own, they sound the same. But yeah, if we add a particle, like actually in this case, like ni, we can hear the accent, so low, high, low again. In this case, the ni is required because we use a verb of staying. In our case, we have this sumi tsuite. I have doubts. I'll find it as is. No, actually, I could find it in the dictionary. Even though it would be clear enough on its own. It's a Chinese. It's a compound verb. First and foremost, we have the verb sumu. On its own should be accented, but we'll check. Yes, it is. It means to live, as in to reside, to inhabit, to dwell. Yeah, so you can see why I mentioned a verb of staying, a locative verb, we could also say. Yeah, that's why it requires the ni as its particle for in, at. It's a verb called a verb, so we can change the u into i to make the continuative form, required to attach, to add the second verb, part of the compound, which is tsuku. This is actually the tsuku. We've already studied the kanji of the one that means to arrive, accented on its own tsuku, to arrive at, to reach. And yeah, so sumi tsuku, by the way, as a compound, and good thing it was present then here on the online dictionary, plus also the plugin, so with the accent, because it's actually an accented, so be careful. As a compound, the individual verbs are accented. Okay, the meaning is to settle in a place, implied, to settle down. But yeah, literally we have the verbs to settle, to live, to settle, to live, to reside, to inhabit. And then we have the verb which means to arrive at, and yeah, so that's why this compound means to settle down. It's a verb, codon verb. So we, to make that a form, like in this case, we have to follow the rules. It's in ku, so it becomes ite. Again, most likely first it became the continuative form, so change the u into i, tsuki. Then add the te. But then the k fell, and so only the i remained tsuite. The form required, in this case, let's say simply, it's one of its most common usages to connect two parts of sentences, and so yeah, to do the action of the verb in te and the rest of the sentence. So yeah, so far we have monsters, demons, settled at well, we have technically it's not shown in Japanese that it's a past form, but yeah, based on the context and the meaning, it makes sense to translate it as such in English. And also considering that when we use this te form, often it can be two verbs that are in a sequence. So yeah, first the monsters settled at the river, and then we have whatever the rest of the sentence says, starting with tabibito. It's a Chinese, it's a compound, in this case a strictly Japanese one, from tabi, which means travel. Want to check its accent. Give me a second to check it here. Okay, yeah, accented on the last syllable, so tabi was correct. Travel, trip, journey. We've actually seen it before. Not sure if don't think in this series, but previous ones for sure. After that, we had the noun hito. Notice again the change of the consonant from hito becomes bito, the voiced corresponding voiced consonant by adding the duck 10. It might seem weird that H becomes B, but yeah, it's because actually that H original was a P, so yeah, P, the corresponding voiced consonant is P, so yeah, makes sense. Hito on its own means person, is the most common word for person. We've even studied its kanji, and this time actually for real, in this very series. I'm pretty sure in the first episode. Yeah, hito on its own is unaccented. Yeah, means person, the most common, the fundamental word for person in Japanese. But yeah, so literally, travel, we could say traveling, person, and yeah, of course then, because of that, traveler. Yeah, wayfarer, technically, tourist, even though it isn't exactly that. There's a more specific word for tourist. Yeah, technically, this literally means traveling person. Yeah, so traveler. Yeah, travelers, in this case, because of the context. And of course, in Japanese, you can technically make the plural with in certain ways, with certain pluralizing suffixes, the doubling of the word in certain cases. But yeah, a word in Japanese can be either singular or plural in general. So yeah, like in our case, travelers, because in general. Then we have the object particle o. Then we have the verb tabete. Actually, in this case, should be accent on the first syllable. Actually, the third to last, because it's the form, as we see. The verb on its own is accent on the second to last, as usual, because it's accented. Taberu, to eat. It's a verb, ichidan verb, so we can drop the ru and add te to make the te form. Te form, which is required because then we add the auxiliary verb shimau. Shimau, we have seen it before, should be an accent on its own. Check, yes it is. Means to finish, to stop, to end, to put an end to bring to a close. Also, well, to close a business, to close down, to shut down by extension, to put away, to put back, to keep, to store. But as an auxiliary verb after that a form of a verb, it has two meanings. The first one is to do completely, to finish. So yeah, literally simply the fundamental meaning of the verb even on its own, to finish. By extension, it also means to do accidentally, to do without meaning to happen to do, to end up. And yeah, so because of that, to end up. Yeah, you can see why it's related. In this case, well, of course, they don't do it accidentally. You could say end up, but not in a sense of accidentally, but yeah, more like completely. Yeah, well, you could say end up in more in the sense of it happens. But yeah, of course, the monsters intend to do it. That's what I was wanted to say. But yeah, then we have the suspension dots, and yeah, so the full translation becomes: monsters settled at the river, and they end up eating travelers. So we get that. Yeah, the usual Chikaran in Arenaiwa. But this is what we have just heard. Save the town. We have that. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure I am supposed to talk to this enemy, but yeah, actually this is a quote-unquote friendly enemy, so yeah, simply in the sense that it doesn't attack you. I feel like I had missed something though, because yeah, now here, of course, yeah, the same sign, welcome to Nabooru. Here we have locked houses. I seem to remember. We'll quickly go back a second in the previous parts of town. I seem to remember an open door. Not that. Okay, I guess I was simply wrong then. Yeah, there was the magician with we got the spell. Actually, this one is the woman that would heal you, and yeah, actually has the same dialogue as usual. This one, unlike the old woman, here's the magic. Okay, this is different. Good thing we checked. Yeah, it is a fun game to play. Although, yeah, even though I haven't finished actually the third Zelda, A Link to the Past, yeah, I prefer that style of Zelda, especially when it comes to the difficulty. But yeah, we'll eventually play it, of course, for the channel. Thank you for checking out which games I want to play at some point. On my own or for the channel. There. As I was mentioning, we have this here. This new dialogue. Suspension dots, then we have this exclamation ah, and then ikikaeta. First and foremost, we have this ah with two ah, and so technically a long vowel. We have a long vowel ah. But yeah, an exclamation like in English. Yeah, most of the translation you can literally keep it just like ah in English. Also an ah more like an R in exasperation. Also other meanings, yes, indeed. Also simply a hey, yo, like many exclamations we have seen in Japanese. And also right. But yeah, in this case, let's stay safe. Keep it as a ah. And then we have this ikikaeta. It's a compound verb from the verb ikiru, accented on its own. It means to live. Other extended meanings, but yeah, the fundamental meaning is to live. It's a root verb, it's an verb, so we can drop the root to make the continuative form required to attach then the second verb part of the compound. Verb, which is kairu. It's the one, in this case, accented on the first syllable. So yeah, again, instead of the second to last, simply because it's the second to last syllable. So actually, kairu, in this case, it's considered a diphthong. So yeah, the accent is on the ka. This one is the one that means to return, to come back, to go back. As a suffix, and so actually when added as the second part of a compound verb, it has also the meaning to become extremely, to become completely. But yeah, the fundamental meaning of the verb in itself is to return, and then by extension you can see why we have this to become completely, as it's but yeah, here in this particular case, ikikairu, you check actually its accent. Yeah, luckily it's accented just like kairu, so on the ka. It means to revive, to come to oneself, to be restored to life. Yeah, literally to return to life, to return to be alive. And yeah, so to be restored to life is the closest one technically. Or to revive, notice the re also in English. Kairu, this one, we have seen another one, which is the one actually unaccented kairu, which is, that one is a root verb, it's an verb as you'd expect, because it's in eru. This one is actually a verb, cotton verb, like hairu. So yeah, be careful, you have to remember it. And so, to make that a form, like in this case, we have to follow the rules. It's in ru, so it becomes double consonant ta. Again, first the continuative form by changing the u into i, kaeri ta. But then the i most likely fell, kaer ta, difficult to pronounce, so became simply a doubling of the consonant and the ta. Ta form, and yes, so the past form of the verb in plain speech. And yes, so in this case, technically, you could say might be simply the lady that says about Link that he has revived, even though in a way it kind of sounds like something that Link himself could say, but yeah, I'd say keep it safe and keep let the NPCs talk. Yeah, so as in you have been revived, you have been restored to life. Yeah, so simply the effect would be that the life would have been, we would get full life as usual. And now we have this. I'm really not sure, because I seem to remember a house, but oh well. Yeah, I'd say we can leave the town actually then. And yeah, I'd say we take our usual break now, around 5 minutes, most likely slightly less. And when we'll be back, we'll start going around the overworld and we'll see what we'll do next. So yeah, see you in around 5 minutes. And we are back. And yeah, now we can continue. And yeah, now we can start going around the overworld as mentioned. Let me quickly open. Okay. Waiting for it to be. Okay. Yeah, first and foremost, yeah, not okay, actually found this. We actually didn't need it for now, so let's actually avoid it. Okay, let me quickly check. Okay, I think it's actually down here. Because yeah, for now we should. Oh boy, these are the levers. Classic Zelda enemy, but quite lethal here. Rather take a couple of hits from the Octorok. Oh boy. The worst variant here. Yeah, by the way, these are, yeah, we'll try to go into an easier one. But yeah, these are the Zoras. The ones, of course, of these older Zelda games, so enemies. And they can't be defeated without magic, I'm pretty sure, in this game. So yeah, let's be careful here. Let's take a hit there. Okay, got a little experience. At least I think I'm going the right way. Oh boy. Yeah, no, that we'll avoid at all costs. Yeah, let's go with an easier variant again. Let's defeat the Octorok. I might be going actually the wrong way here. Let me quickly check the map. Okay, no, I think I know what where I went wrong. Yeah, we have to. I thought we'd have to enter. You might have noticed. Oh boy, this isn't the best. Let's try to. The good news is that. Oops. We got some experience by doing this. So slightly got hurt, but not much. Well, unless I do that, we've seen that the levers are terrible. Are the worst. Thank you. Nope. Let's be careful here. I'm worried about. Yeah, let's try to block that. Oh boy, yeah, you have to be way more careful here. Yeah, I'd rather take one hit by a rock than anything else. But yeah, of course I have to be careful about everything else after that. Oh boy, surrounded by those. Okay, now we're fine. Yeah, not here. As you can see, there's only that, but yeah. We need to go into this cave. Yeah, we have one of these enemies. They're pretty easy, lucky for us. You simply have to be careful. I'm tempted to use life. Yeah, then we restore some magic like this. Oh boy, let's be careful here. As soon as I say it, yeah, let's move more to the right, but not too much. So like this. Of course, now it goes to the right. Oh yeah, we'll actually keep that hit then. Oh boy. As soon as I say then, we have that. We might have to not use our magic then for life. Yeah, we'll actually use it for fire, the spell. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, it takes all our magic. Let me be careful then, even more so considering that. Yeah, no. Using the magic against these isn't the best because it isn't fast enough. Okay, actually isn't... maybe it wasn't fire, but actually we have to use a reflect for it. I'll actually test it because oops, we don't have a reflect yet. So boy, we have to simply avoid that. That's Zora. We actually use that. And then also shield clearly. So we need it. Let's be careful about this enemy. Of course it goes the way that's best for it. Well, makes sense, but yeah. Ah, okay, no, this... yeah, no, actually I think that... okay, they actually work. Yeah, no, it's the Tektites then require the spell. Ah, yeah, we're up here then. Yeah, yeah, now we get these Tektites. Yeah, we'll ignore them. Yeah, we want first and foremost to go to the right. You'll see why in a second. Oh boy, yeah. Not the strong variant. Okay. Even though, actually, the quote-unquote strong variant might be better in this case. Compared to having to deal with these. Okay. Yeah, around here, well, unless I get into a fight. Yeah, here we get a Link doll. So yeah, new continue. Which we actually needed because I think we only had one left. We didn't have any continues left because we are continuing from after the palace. Yeah, here we have this bridge that we have to cross. Hopefully we'll be fine. Ah, okay, no, actually this bridge is simply a loading screen. So yeah, we're fine for now. And yeah, here you can, might have guessed, since we, even just based on this, yeah, this is the Maze Island we've seen mentioned. And yeah, where actually technically the next palace is. But we are not here for that, for now. We're here to drop into holes. Specific ones, technically. Boy, yeah, we have these Alisalfos, technically. Not sure. Yeah, we'll ignore it, actually. We're here for this lost child. Required in the next town, Darunia. We we've seen it mentioned, the town. Technically, most certainly we would have got a dialogue without rescuing the child first. But since the town, as we see, is on the opposite side, better to rescue the child now and then be good with that. Yeah, as you have seen, we have these spots in this on this island. I want to continue. Yeah, the way our next objective before leaving this island for now, and I'd rather get it now or get it already before going to the town, is up to the left. We can actually see where it will be. Yeah, of course we have to leave these screens. Yeah, in this case we actually have to unfortunately leave it from the other side, I'm pretty sure, based on these. We'll see how it goes. Enough, I was fine for a second there, but not after. Yeah, you have to literally actually cross it. Go across the screen. And yeah, to go there, we have to go up here now. Down here. And yeah, we have an actual, another hole here. And yeah, we have a magic container. Yeah, we really need the magic, as you have seen. So yeah, the more we get, the better it is for us. Honestly, I could use it already for life. But yeah, we'll actually wait a second. And yeah, with these holes, actually, we can we could proceed north if we wanted to. And we want to, of course, for the palace. But yeah, we'll actually go down again. And actually leave the island for now. We've seen what happens going that way. Yeah, I think this is technically easier. But as long as, of course, I don't make such mistakes. You have to be careful about these enemies. I wonder actually if some of the things I've seen, oops, sorry, apply only to the international version, because I know for sure that there are some differences between the Japanese, which is this version, the Famicom version, and the NES one. Including what we've actually seen. Those who have played this game before might have been wondering why we lost some level ups before. That's because actually to keep when you get a game over, your stats get reset to the lowest one. So yeah, for example, currently we have 4 attack, 3 magic, 3 life. And so if we lose before, if we lost now, we got a game over, we would go back to 3, 3, 3. And yeah, so actually we have to be careful about that. And also when choosing our level ups. Yeah, next we want, we most likely would have wanted them anyway, 4 magic and 4 life before proceeding with the 5s. Yeah, as you have seen, we ended up in a screen here with an action screen. Not because of an enemy on the map, but it was a spot on the map, and yeah, it's like that. And you might have noticed on screen for a second the next town. And yeah, so we'll actually go there. Just to be completely sure, I use life then. So considering that. And yeah, we have another one. I think this might be the last one. I think it was 2 of them. Let me quickly check by going down. Yeah, no, I think it actually isn't mentioned there. Yeah, you have to be careful also about these bubbles. Okay, nice. We got another one of these. I'd go for, well, actually magic for now, technically. Magic would be nice to restore, for example, in the palace. And of course, if you restore your magic, then you could heal at least some of your life with the life spell. So yeah, let's actually go for life for now. We'll keep the magic for the palace, because as you have seen, we'll tackle it doubting this episode, since we have the town. I'm not sure if we'll be able to go through it completely even in this episode. But yeah, most likely next time we'll get to and start the palace. But yeah, here... yeah, here is the town after the loading screen. And yeah, here the sign says Yamanomachi Darunia. Funny enough, for once, the name makes sense considering the character that will be named after it. Because it says here, first and foremost, we have Yama, mountain. Yeah, you might see what why I said that then. Darunia is the Goron. Yeah, so mountain. Yama on its own is accent on the last syllable. But yeah, here we have after it the possessive particle no, and so yeah, actually it becomes unaccented because of that. So yeah, be careful about no, it's an exception. Other particles, as we have seen, keep the accents as usual. At most, accents on the particles show up if the word is unaccented, but yeah, even then it depends. But yeah, off mountain, better, as we see mountain something. The something is machi. We've seen it before. It means town. Accented also on the last syllable. But yeah, technically, also in this case, we would hear it unaccented because there isn't anything else after it. Of course, there's the name, but it's on its own. There is even a space in this game, since we write everything on with katakana, like usually in Japanese, where it's a combination of hiragana, katakana, and kanji. But yeah, so the mountain town, and then of course its name, Darunia. And yeah, okay, we can continue. Let's see if we... this woman says... I think... yeah, we have seen this, I think it was still about the town. Yeah, please rescue, save the town. Yeah, still the same. But as you can see here, we have some of these random NPCs that are actually monsters. So yeah, you have to be careful, but we'll check them anyway. Yeah, there she said the usual Chikara ni narenai wa. Here we have this. As you can see, we have some houses with chimneys. Keep it in mind because it will actually be important in a second. Yeah, first let's enter this one, which is yeah, this other one wasn't anything. Let's enter this one. Yeah, here you can see there isn't anything. I don't remember if it's straight up this one then, but yeah, you'll yeah, not from here, even if it is this one. Okay, actually, yeah, no, not this one, so let's go back and not use the spell for now, even though I think we'll see a lady that heals us, an old lady for the magic. But yeah, first we have this one, which will most likely be, yeah, it's the usual Chotto Yotte Kanai. And yeah, here again says Ai Kikaeta, which we have seen in this very episode. So yeah, the usual lady that heals our life. Okay, this is the old lady that will should heal our, yeah, rest and go. Yeah, again, this one says talks about the special make, special production medicine of hers, her special, literally make, special production also as a medicine. But yeah, we've seen this before. I think in the previous episode when we went in the other town. Yeah, let's not get hurt by that fake NPC. Let's try to talking to this one. Nope. A real one, but without that. Okay, yeah, this is the, I'm pretty sure is the one, the roof I was thinking of. Okay, but first let's check what this guy has to say. He says, Shinden ni wa Nise no kabe ga aru zo. First and foremost, we have again Shinden, our temple, shrine, sanctuary, so palace in the English version. An accent is a Chinese compound. Then we have the ni particle, in this case, in at, so location with a locative verb, a verb of staying. We'll see which one in a second. It's, of course, at the end of the sentence, as usual in Japanese. Or at least at the end of a part of a sentence. After that, we have the topic particle wa. And so, as for at the palace, temple, shrine, sanctuary, then we have nise, which means fake. Want to check the accent, and also we see some additional translations. Yeah, first and foremost, okay, unaccented. Technically a noun, first and foremost, so imitation, fake, phony, counterfeit, forged, and so on. Yeah, let's say keep in mind as the fundamental meaning fake. Also because it's one of those nouns that take the possessive particle to make, in practice, an adjective, even though technically, again, the Japanese structure is noun plus possessive particle. And yeah, like in our case, nisse no, so the possessive particle, so fake something which is, in our case, kabe. I think unaccented, but we'll check. It means wall. It's the strictly Japanese word for wall. And yeah, unaccented, kabe. Wall, partition. By extension, of course, also a wall in the sense of a barrier, an obstacle, an hindrance, a difficulty. Yeah, the fundamental meaning, wall. And yeah, so we have fake wall, walls, better, plural, as in general. Then we have the subject particle ga. And yeah, now we have the verb aru, to be as in to exist, of inanimate things, and so objects, or like in our case, technically a wall, the walls, or concepts, abstract things. As a reminder, the opposite for, well, not the opposite, the verb with the same meaning, but for animate things, so people and animals, is the most common one is iru, unaccented, aru is accented. Then we have seen also oru, but that's the honorific humble form of iru. But yeah, here we have aru, of course. Again, we have the walls. And last but not least, we have the final sentence particle zo, made term or language, adds force, or also a command. Yeah, in this case, let's say simply force, more like in emphasis. And also because, of course, it's a man speaking. And yeah, so we got this tip. But yeah, here we have the house I was thinking of. So we'll check it. Yeah, no, we have, that's another enemy, we'll ignore it. I use, technically, maybe even fairy could work, but I use jump to be completely sure. I think we actually have to jump up from here, from a lower one. Then let's go back. And yeah, let's enter this. Go down the chimney. Funny enough, kind of like as if it were a warp pipe in Mario, as we've seen them before. Yeah, let's go to the right. We have a basement. And yeah, we actually have a soldier. And yeah, so, as you might have guessed, to quickly, let's talk to him. And yeah, since that's something of this kind, we don't have to take a screenshot because it doesn't go away, unlike spells. This one says, Zampu shita toki, kiyo ue ni irete miro. First and foremost, we have Zampu. Of course, jump from English. As a reminder, notice that the n, because of course in Japanese we only have that as a consonant on its own, but actually becomes m also in Japanese when it's followed by bilabial consonants like P, in our case, Zampu. So yeah, just like in English. And then, of course, last but not least, the additional U after the P, because of course we don't have P on its own. So yeah, jump, a noun, technically. But of course, we can actually make the corresponding verb by adding the verb suru, an accent on its own, to do literally, and yeah, to do jump, and so yeah, to jump. Here, it's in its ta form. Unfortunately, suru is completely irregular, so you simply have to remember that it becomes sta. After that, we have toki. So, while we'll see toki is a peculiar noun, technically it's a noun, and yeah, we have a verb before it. So, a verb technically in attributive position, a relative clause. If there are more elements, technically, in this case, we could consider jump plus the verb suru. But yeah, either way, a relative clause, a verb in attributive position, modifying the following noun, which is in our case toki, on its own, accent on the final syllable, on the last more, so toki, means time, hour, moment, also by extension occasion, case, and so on. In translation, because it has these meanings, we can actually simply translate it as when. When you have jumped. Literally, in the moment in which you have jumped. Then we have key, also from English, literally key. In this case, more in the sense as we have seen before, because this is actually almost the same sentence as the previous soldier we have found in a basement when we got the other technique. There's only a certain change, of course, because it's another technique. But yeah, key in the sense of more like a button, technically. But yeah, accented, just like in English. So yeah, in this case, because of that, of course, on the on the key, because of course, the long vowel mark can't have the accent on its own because it's a syllable as key is a syllable as a whole. So yeah, accent on the key. Then we have the object particle o. Then we have we, and yeah, here we have the difference. Last time it said shita, down. Again, we have studied the kanji. Also, we have studied the kanji of we, I think. But either way, it's the opposite. It's up, above, over, also top, and so on. But yeah, the fundamental meaning, up. And yeah, unaccented also, just like shita. Then we have ni. Ni, again, as well, in this case, technically would be to, as in into, because of the following verb, which is irete, from ireru, to put in, other meanings, from that to put in, to let in, to take in, to bring in, to insert. But yeah, here you can see why we have to put in to, technically. Although in practice, it's better to, in translation, to simply keep it as it press, to adapt it as in press the up button. Yeah, literally would be insert the key into, to put the key into up. So yeah, simply as in press the up button. Ireru is a transitive verb that we have seen. Yeah, I wanted to say that it's a verb, it's a verb. So we can drop the ru and add te to make that a form. The form required because we then add the verb miru on its own accented. Means to see, to look at, to watch. But when used after the form of a verb, it becomes an auxiliary. Literally, the meaning would be do the action of the verb in te and see, look at the result implied. And so yeah, this te miru form means try doing the action of the verb in te. Miru is also a verb, it's a verb, so we can change the u into o to make the imperative in plain speech. The spoken one we see again, yeah, the most common one, as we can, for obvious reasons, in contemporary Japanese. Yeah, so here it says literally insert, put in the key up to the up, to above. When you jump, literally, the moment in which you have jumped, when you have jumped. And yeah, so we have actually the upward thrust. We got that. And yeah, as you can see, it's this one. We'll see if we'll actually use it. Yeah, definitely not as useful as the downward thrust, which we have seen. Yeah, really, really useful. But yeah, we'll see. Funny enough, we can now leave here, of course, because we can go back up. Yeah, after we leave, the door is still closed. Please. Yeah, no, this that was again the fake walls. The lady that can't help us. This is a closed house, and in this case there isn't any access. Oh boy, so many sprites, and yeah, so we got some flickering. And yeah, again, rescue, save Hyrule, but then of course it was actually a monster, so yeah, let's ignore that. Okay, this one, let's see if it's the lady that heals us, or actually I suspect might be the other thing we have to do in this town. And yeah, it is. I mentioned that we needed the lost child for something in this town. Yeah, here it is. Unfortunately, we missed a dialogue, but yeah, we didn't want to go here, see that, then go to get the lost child, to then come back here, to then go back to the Maze Island for the palace. Yeah, saved us some backtracking. But yeah, because we have already rescued the lost child, she says, "Yusha yo arigato first and foremost, we have Yusha, quite an important word for these games because it means hero. It's a Chinese compound. Accent on the first syllable, so yeah, keep it in mind, it's one of those. Yeah, literally would mean brave, courageous person, brave person. The sha is the one we have actually already studied the kanji. It's the one with the reading mono, the strictly Japanese reading mono person. Actually, only used usually as a suffix and clearly still from thing. But yeah, sha in Chinese compounds, of course, since it's the Chinese reading. Yeah, yusha. So in this case, yeah, so hero. Then we have the particle yo. In this case, not final sentence technically. It's actually after simply a noun used when calling out someone. For those familiar with the term, it's a vocative. You could say that it's a vocative. Or also can be used as in hey. But yeah, in this case, it's not a usual final sentence particle, but this usage after a name. So we could say as a oh hero or something like that. After that, we get arigato. Thank you. Let's quickly mention again the origin of arigato, since it's quite important. It's quite an important expression. By the way, arigato on its own technically accent on the ri, even though you in practice you often hear it with seemingly different accents, but yeah, it's because it's an expression often used as an exclamation also. So yeah, I wanted to quickly check on the physical dictionary what it says about the accent. You know, technically the accent is still on the ri, also in the dictionary, but yeah, after that, again, might not seem in practice because of those reasons, but yeah, doesn't matter. But yeah, it comes from the arigatai, literally a compound adjective, a combination of a verb and an adjective. The verb is aru, again to be as in to exist. We change the u into e to make the conjugative form, in this case to attach the adjective gatai. Not used nowadays, usually. Actually, katai would be then we get the voicing of the consonant because it's the second part of a compound of strictly Japanese origin. Katai, unaccented, would means difficult, hard. The usual one nowadays with the same meaning is nikui. Yeah, difficult to do the action of the verb. Literally difficult to be, to exist. And so by extension something peculiar, particular. And by further extension something worth thanking someone for. Yeah, so arigatai means grateful, thankful, because of that. And then we have the further conjugation. It's a adjective, so we can drop the e and add ku to make the adverbial form. In this case, required to further conjugate to attach gozaimasu from gozaru, an honorific form of aru. The meaning is the same, but yeah, it's used to make this honorific form simply arigato gozaimasu, because that's actually the extended form of arigato gozaimasu. But there's also this change, because arigata ku gozaimasu, but then the k dropped, arigata u. But yeah, because of the further evolution of the Japanese language, au became o, long o, and so ou, long o. And yeah, so this is the origin. Yeah, here you'll often see it also as this abbreviated form, arigato. And yeah, after that she says simply uchi oide nasai. First and foremost, we have uchi. Again, there are two of them, both unaccented. It's actually most certainly the same word. Inside, within, while, among. But yeah, this one is one's house, one's home, by extension, one's family, one's household. The word for house, home, by extension, family, household, in general, not one's own, is ie, accent on the last syllable. They use the same kanji. But yeah, luckily here it's in katakana, so we can see it's uchi, not just because of the context. Then we have the particle e, so to, towards. Last but not least, we have the verb oide nasai. Actually comes from this verb ideru, nowadays not used, usually nowadays on its own, to go, to come. Actually, it's from here that the verb deru, to exit, to come out, comes from. But yeah, here we use it by dropping it's a ruverbiciden verb, so we drop the ru to make the continuative form. We also add the honorific prefix to make this honorific form. And then last but not least, add nasai from nasaru, the honorific, respectful in this case, form of the verb suru, to do. Yeah, the same meaning. Notice again the e, because to make the continuative form, it becomes e instead of ri. Most likely first was ri, so changing the u into e, but then the r fell and so only the e remained. Like it often happens for these, for honorific verbs, those are the exception. Like we have seen for kudasai, and yeah, like that, there's an implied masse. So yeah, the imperative polite form. So yeah, please come to my house. And yeah, we'll do that. And yeah, no one as usual, but we'll go inside. And yeah, of course, as you might have guessed, again, we get a magician. Oops, not that one. I didn't want actually that. But I fixed them. Okay, actually got it. Yeah, this magician says, Omae no tate ni chikara o ateru mahou da. First and foremost, we have omae, a pronoun, a second person singular pronoun, you, As we have seen before, well, it comes from mae, which we have seen means before, on its own, accented. Before, both physically and literally, so also in front of. Most likely because of that, it becomes a pronoun for you, the person in front of me, in front of the one speaking. But yeah, we add the honorific prefix o, and yeah, we get this omae, actually unaccented, so be careful, despite mae on its own being accented. Yeah, formerly honorific. Now it's, well, technically it's male term or language. It's definitely familiar language. And yeah, now it's actually very informal, so be careful. But yeah, you. Then we have the possessive particle no, so actually your. Then we have the particle ni, to your shield. Sorry, didn't mention tate, means shield. We check its accent quickly. Technically, there are other tate, but yeah, this is clearly the one for shield. Actually, tate, so accent on the first syllable, then. Actually, also in the other cases, but yeah. Shield. To your shield. Then we have chikara. We have seen it before, strength. Accent on the last syllable. That we'll quickly check anyway. Force, energy, by extension also capability, ability, and so on. Yeah, accent on the last syllable. Then we have the object particle o. Then we have ataeru. Which means to give. So yeah, actually another verb of giving. In this case, well, especially to someone of lower status. Although in this case you could, it also means more like to bestow, to grant, and so on. Yeah, we'll keep it for, in our case, let's say, bestow or grant. Actually, after that, we have a noun. So yeah, actually a relative clause up to the verb included, modifying the following noun, which is maho. Yeah, we have mentioned it before, of course, in this case, spell. And last but not least, the copula da. So it's a spell which that bestows, grants strength to your shield. And yeah, so we got that. Sorry. Let's go back to the game. And yeah, we got the reflex spell, as it says here. And yeah, so I'll actually, well, we can see it, and it consumed all our magic here. But yeah, it's actually used to reflect certain projectiles. Yeah, quite important actually. I don't remember if we have already seen also the lady that, yeah, no, I think actually not. So let's continue to the left for now. We've seen the lady that is our life. We'll talk to that man in a second. Yeah, no, actually, we have already seen it then. Was forgetting, so let's actually go back if I can. Avoid to use it just to be completely sure. Sorry. Yeah, let's not waste the magic. I'll quickly go back to the right to see, when we leave the house, of course, to see if I can replenish my magic in this town. Even though we have seen the woman that heals you, your health. Okay, yeah, this is the, yeah, it's this one, the old lady. And yeah, again, the special make medicine. Yeah, so we now go back to where we were. We'll check what that man has to say for sure, the one that was staying still, so an actual NPC, not a random one. Yeah, this man says, actually a tip that we have already used, Kono machi ni wa sugou deno. Actually, no, it should be sugo ude no kenshi ga iruzo. First and foremost, we have Kono, again of the Kosoado series, Ko, close to both the speaker and the listener, so far from the speaker, close to the listener, far from both, do the interrogative. Koso are usually unaccented, do accent on the first syllable. With no, we get the demonstrative adjective, so this followed by a noun, which is a machi again, in our case, this town. Then we have the particle ni, in this case, in, at, so location with verbs of staying. Then we have the topic particle wa. As for in this town, and then we have this sugoude that at first confused me because of the, it went on the other line. It's a compound from sugoi, the adjective, we have seen it before. Actually, let me find it on its own. I think accented, but we want to be sure. Yes, accented. Terrible. So actually dreadful, but also, and these are the most common ones, amazing, great, wonderful, terrific. So yeah, keep in mind terrible and terrific, which are similar also in English. It has both meanings. And yeah, after that, we drop the E in this case of the adjective to attach it to make this compound with this noun. Technically, most likely, originally it was sugoi and then ude. And then they simply drop the E to make it shorter, of course. Ude, so actually accent on the last syllable, means arm. By extension becomes also ability, skill, talent, competence, and yeah, also physical strength. So yeah, by extension from arm. And yeah, so we get this sugoude, actually unaccented, the compound, so be careful. And yeah, so a noun, which means remarkable ability, mastery, brilliant technique. And yeah, so makes sense considering literally the remarkable, brilliant, yeah, the amazing, and so on, great. And then ude in the sense of ability, technique, and so on. It's a noun again, which can take the genitive case particle, the possessive particle no, to make in practice an adjective. And yeah, so in our case, well, we can actually keep it as of brilliant technique, remarkable ability. Either way, modifying the following noun, which is kenshi. The ken we've actually seen before on its own. It's a Chinese compound. Yeah, can be used on its own. But technically there are more kenshi than one, but yeah, in this case it's based on the context, it's clearly the one which means swordsman. Technically also swordswoman, fencer. Better swordsman, swordswoman. Ken on its own means sword and is accented. And so on the ke, on the first more. And then we have this she, which is technically means man, especially one who is well respected. It's also used in compounds for the samurai. Compounds, notice, not the word samurai on its own. And yeah, used nowadays also as a suffix of a person in a certain profession, especially licensed ones. But yeah, in our case, yeah, swordsman. And luckily, by the way, is accent on the first syllable, just like the ken, even though it's a Chinese compound. Then we have the subject particle ga, the verb iru, so to be as in to exist, of people or animals, but yeah, in our case, people, the swordsman. And then last but not least, the final sentence particle zo again. So yeah, as for in this town, there is, to be as in to exist of iru, then in translation we can also say there is, there are. There is a swordman of brilliant technique, remarkable ability. Yeah, so it was a tip for that. Okay, yeah, we've checked out that. Okay, we have this quick tip, so we'll check it. Luckily it's short, since we really have to end the stream as soon as possible. We went way beyond the usual time. Mamo no wa oto o kirau wa yo. First and foremost, we have mamo no again, monster, demon. Wa, the topic particle, as for monsters. Then we have oto, which means sound or even noise. Yeah, oto on its own doesn't distinguish between the two. Is accent on the last syllable, by the way, oto. Then we have the object particle o. Last but not least, we have the verb kirau, to dislike, to hate. Should be unaccented. Yes, it's unaccented. Then we have the final sentence particle wa, because it's a lady speaking. Yeah, it's a female term or language final sentence particle. And last but not least, also the yo, you know. And yeah, so as for monsters, they dislike sound, noise. Okay, we'll see what that means when the time comes. Yeah, no, this was a fake one. Let's ignore it. And yeah, I think that's it for this town. The mountain town Darunia. So yeah, let's exit. yeah, let's pause here. Let's save. Okay, perfect. Let's close the game. And yeah, so today we finished the town of Nabooru. We went around the overworld. First went the wrong way, but after that we went the correct one. We got a link doll. We found the lost child immediately to avoid backtracking. Also a magic container. And then we went to the mountain town of Darunia. Went around it, got both a new sword technique and a new spell. And yeah, so next time, which should be, unless plans change, on Wednesday as usual, we'll actually, as you might have guessed, go to the palace and yeah, most likely tackle it on the Maze Island we've seen this time. And yeah, so see you then, and yeah, see you next time.